Hey, Bill Cates here, Referral Coach International. Thanks for tuning in to BillyTube. I'm often asked, how do you get non-clients to give you referrals and create introductions? They haven't actually experienced your value, so how can you get them to give you referrals? Well, the key ingredient, of course, is being referable. You have to be referable in their eyes. And yes, they haven't experienced your full value, but you can walk them through your process so they get a pretty darn good sense. One of the best ways to get a center of influence, be it a CPA, attorney, or anybody who could be a center of influence for your business, is to kind of turn them into a prospect for a little bit, just for a few minutes, and give them a sense. We'll talk about this, we talk about this, we talk about this. Here's our process. Give them a full sense of that. And when you do that, they go, now I get it. And of course, you always want to talk about the work you do through examples and anecdotes, because that really brings what you do to life. Obviously, without revealing any proprietary confidential information, you can talk about stories, case studies, anecdotes, and that brings what you do to life. Now, becoming super referable in the eyes of a center of influence usually takes more than one conversation. It usually takes a couple of lunches, couple of breakfasts, maybe shooting them a little bit of information in between, and really making sure that they get it. And you should never, ever, ever assume that you're referable in the eyes of a center of influence. Some people, I found, ask centers of influence for referrals way too quickly in the relationship. They're not referable yet. They kind of assume it because that person's in sales or marketing and they're trying to get referrals to their business, that they're naturally going to want to do this with you. But that's not always the case. So you got to make sure you say, am I referable in your eyes yet? Right? I've got this one guy I know can refer business to me. His name is Dan. And the first thing I'm going to talk to him about before I get into anything else about how to do it or who I'm trying to serve the best these days is, am I referable in your eyes? Do you feel you know enough about me right now to feel comfortable doing that? You've got to be super referable. That's the most important thing. And again, it takes time to do that. Now, once you've done that, then you can certainly start to educate your center of influence on who you serve the best. Talking about your process, the example certainly does that as well. Always recommend putting things in writing, having a visual, whether it's just a list or fancy something by a graphic artist, because people take in information faster visually, they learn faster, they remember better when they take it in visually. And so you need to teach each other if it's a reciprocal referral relationship, and it doesn't always have to be reciprocal referral. Sometimes some people are just happy to have other resources in their network. They can refer their clients and their centers of influence, etc. too. But if it's reciprocal, then you certainly want to do this for each other, and you want to make sure that you're very clear on who you serve the best. And then you want to make sure you talk about what those introductions are going to look like. Don't assume that this center of influence, this referral partner of yours, knows how to introduce you, because sometimes they create word of mouth. They talk about you to others, but the phone's not ringing, right? And they say, oh yeah, I'm talking to a lot of people about you. Well, can we talk about that, right? So you want to examine that. You want to say, look, when I run into a prospect for you, for your business, number one, how am I going to know it? Number two, what's the best way for me to introduce them to you? What would you like? And then you reciprocate with that to make sure you're getting these connections. Now, personally, I like to create an email handshake, right? I have people that say, call my friend George, call my manager, call my leader, call the director of training, whatever. Their name is this, or I'll email them. And I go, I could do that. I appreciate that. And how do you feel about introducing me with an electronic handshake, an email handshake? George, this is Bill. Bill, this is George. Barbara, this is Bill, etc. You know what I'm talking about. So talk about that. So number one, you want to be referable. Number two, you want to make sure you're clear on who each other serves the best. And number three, you want to make sure you attend to the introductions. You want to make sure that you introduce each other in the way that's best for that person. And then I guess if there's a fourth thing, you got to keep this relationship going, right? You got to keep being referable. And you probably want to meet once a month, once a quarter, whatever seems appropriate, to make sure you're both clear and you build that business friendship in that as well if you break bread when you meet. And then you're off to the races with a very productive relationship. So I hope you found this helpful. This is Bill Cates leaving you with a question. Who are you going to be introduced to today? Thanks for watching.